Okie dokie. Here today we have Nameless Order versus Umais in Slaanesh versus the Chaos Dwarves. Soul Grinder versus Iron Demon ROR is the most notable thing to me, but also a metric shit ton of Kadai Fireborn. I think these guys are alright. They could use probably about 100, 150 gold off their cost, but they're alright. Good armor-piercing magic damage, anti-infantry too, which is nice versus Slaanesh these days. Slaanesh does take a lot of Chaos Warriors and Chosen. So for the Chaos Dwarves, since we're already hovering over there, we have the Demon's Tongue, Iron Demon Regiment of Renown. We have Astragoth, Iron Hand, with Ash Storm, Flamesword Rune, and Cascading Firecloak. Bull Centaur Renders, 3 Kadai Fireborn, the Immortals, Infernal Ironsworn Regiment of Renown, and then 1 Chaos Dwarf Warrior and 3 Goblin Laborers. On Slaanesh's side, we have triple Marauder Horsemen of Slaanesh for some skirmish pressure. A Zazil, Pavane, and Lash for his 2 spells. A Soul Grinder of Slaanesh, 2 Chaos Knights, and then a front line of Marauders, it looks like. No Chaos Warriors in sight. Meanwhile, the Soul Grinder is trying to pick a fight with the Demon's Tongue. While the Demon's Tongue is facing away, Soul Grinder runs sideways. Anyway, while the Demon's Tongue is facing away, it will not return any damage whatsoever. But the Soul Grinder misses his only charge attack, and other than that, just runs around being kind of dopey. He's now trying to get away. Bull Centaur Renders have taken some damage from something. I have to imagine it was Skirmish Cav, as the melee has not started yet. The Soul Grinder is crawling away from those Bull Centaur Renders, and he is technically faster than everything here, though a Flamethrower hits him in the butt. Meanwhile, the Kadai Fireborn have extended way past their infantry lines, which will leave them exposed to any counter charges, right, from the Soul Grinder or the Chaos Knights or a Zazil or something. And they'll just take more damage from the Devoted Marauders without any infantry support, though they are trucking through these Devoted Marauders. Here's the part we're worried about, though. In comes all of those support units. Chaos Knights, Zazil, even the Soul Grinder getting a ton of damage in. Astragoth and his Demon's Tongue, plus the Bull Centaur Renders, trying to get a rear charge on those Chaos Knights, and they have taken half the HP off of it. So overall, pretty good trade for the Chaos Dwarves in the early game here. Soul Grinder of Slaanesh still fighting back. But we have almost lost a full Kadai Fireborn for the efforts. Another is half HP as Chaos Knights of Slaanesh pick on him. And the infantry of the Chaos Dwarves is still limping to catch up. For now. The Demon's Tongue thinking about fighting Zazil, maybe? Nah, he's just wandering away. Maybe he's going to go rear charge those Chaos Knights and shoot his Flamethrower into them. They are very clumped up. That could do a lot of damage. 2 Kadai Fireborn are just about dead. They'll soon lose that unbreakable status that they have and actually start demonic instability crumbling very quickly. But in trade, a whole Chaos Knight is pretty much dead. We've lost, it looks like, 3 Marauders overall. It's not a bad start here. Not a bad start. Other Chaos Knight of Slaanesh also getting burnt up and fighting these Kadai Fireborn down to half HP. But the Skirmish Cav are here to start firing in. Chaos Dwarves are slightly ahead on the bounce power, and I definitely agree. And Slaanesh's super fast units next to the white line might just escort themselves off. We only have 1 healthy Kadai Fireborn left. And one of them has lost that Unbreakable, so now his leadership actually matters, and it is getting lower, as we've talked about. The Demon's Tongue is down to half HP in a nasty trade with the Soul Grinder, though the Soul Grinder is also getting quite low. And these Devoted Marauders of Slaanesh look like they're about to get routing. Soul Grinder of Slaanesh, probably the next victim in this fight, with its demonic instability crumbling. It could go away very quickly, but there goes a Kadai Fireborn, just now getting taken out. And the Marauder Horsemen of Slaanesh used over half their ammo. But they've stayed mostly safe, so they'll still provide plenty of DPS. Ezreal casts something, an Overcast Pavane of Slaanesh. I don't even know what that does. Hold on. What does Overcasting the Pavane do? Increased duration. Interesting. Okay, cool. So increased Rampage duration for these Immortals, also dealing damage to them the whole time. More and more Marauders are getting picked off. Astragoth is standing in the middle. 2 Chaos Knights of Slaanesh, both very low. Getting close to that point where they'll no longer have any effective HP and just kind of be a meh unit for the rest of the game. But a second Kadai Fireborn is about to bite the dust. Any second now at 0 leadership. 1 more leadership spike and that'll do it. And the final Kadai Fireborn, the one that was so healthy a bit ago, is also quite damaged. Bull Centaur Renders also feeling the burn. It looks like just the slow attrition of the Skirmish Cav and how many Devoted Marauders are on the field is weighing down the Chaos Dwarves. And the Soul Grinder is getting a really good duel with the Demon's Tongue. Cascading Firecloak trying to give it better stats, but Skirmish Cav really putting the hurt in on that. And what is this? Tier 1 army ability? Another Rampage damage ability onto those Immortals. Demonic Instability does take out the Soul Grinder as Astragoth charges it from behind. Goodbye, Soul Grinder. You served well, but the Demon's Tongue is on its way out too. Bull Centaur Renders and Kadai Fireborn teaming up on the last of those Chaos Knights, dealing good damage to them. Chaos Dwarves are ahead on the balance of power. For sure, and Astragoth is trying to stop Zazil from getting back into the sky, but he whiffs his attack and just throws out a Flaming Sword of Ruin. It actually looks like he did stop Zazil from taking off for a bit, but Skirmish Cav are here to peel him off and get their lord back into the sky. With the Flaming Sword of Ruin, the Demon's Tongue, and the Kadai Fireborn able to do good damage, push things off. Those Devoted Marauders will not last long. Things are looking real rough for Slaanesh. They have 2 healthy Skirmish Cav running out of ammo, 1 damaged Skirmish Cav that has a decent amount of ammo, 1 full Devoted Marauder of Slaanesh, and a Zazil at full HP. On the side of the Chaos Dwarves, we have the Immortals technically, but they're so damaged I won't even count them. Train's so damaged I won't even count it. Okay, so we have a barely alive Kadai Fireborn and a barely alive Bull Centaur Render with a full health Astragoth trying to carry this whole game. Huh. Bounce power is in the Chaos Dwarf's favor, but after assessing things, I'm less certain, because the game really undervalues ranged units once they're out of ammunition, even though certain ranged units like Marauder Horsemen of Slaanesh are still quite decent without any ammo. Somehow, this very damaged Kadai Fireborn has hung around. See how long that lasts. The train is trying to get a charge on the Marauder Horseman. He has plenty of ammunition, so he should be firing away until his last days. Chaos Dwarves are reforming lines. Duh, Mortals and Goblin Laborers probably have to get back closer to this center formation, or they're going to get picked off by a Zazil. And Slaanesh is going to collapse in on those guys who are overextended, so say goodbye to the Immortals, say goodbye to those Goblin Laborers, and a nice free little pickoff for Slaanesh. Meanwhile, Kadai Fireborn trying to hit these Devoted Marauders, and some Train Fire coming in, just crushing those guys. And they routed from being decently healthy to straight up dead. Skirmish Cav using their last 2 volleys on the Kadai Fireborn. I think they're aiming for the much more damaged one, trying to finish it off. But meanwhile, a downhill charge from those angry spirits. Take out the Devoted Marauders. And the Demon's Tongue just firing away as a ranged unit. If the Skirmish Cav want to stay a healthy distance away, they'll have to get much further than they currently are. Slaanesh reforming lines a little bit. I will fast forward as the Demon's Tongue shatters off 2 different Marauder units with that Fire Breath of it, and Astragoth is trying to stop these guys, but the Demon's Tongue's trying to run away from them. It will take pokes in the butt for free, and Zazil is also here, but can he be punished? He is a small unit. He's infantry size. So these Bull Centaur Renders, even if they hit him, wouldn't have gotten their bonus versus large. There goes one of the Kadai Fireborn at last. The other one's getting also quite low. And a Pavane of Slaanesh is going to deal damage and rampage those Chaos Warriors. Zazil has made it his mission to kill this Demon's Tongue, and Chaos Knights opting to try and help him out. Bull Centaur Renders are nearly killed off by the Fascination onto them. And Demon's Tongue routes off those Marauder Horsemen of Slaanesh, but he almost takes the Kadai Fireborn with it. Astragoth is still fighting strong for now. The bounce power is still kind of wavering right in the middle, but a little bit Chaos Dwarf favored. 600 HP left, down to 100 HP left for the Demon's Tongue, and Zazil is after it. 34 HP, it is gone. And without it, there's no more ranged pressure from the Chaos Dwarves. Kadai Fireborn also dying off to that Demonic Instability. And it's now Astragoth and some Chaos Warriors. Chaos Warriors, yes, sure. Chaos Dwarf Warriors, I missed a word in there. Versus the world. The Immortals really aren't strong enough to stay anywhere. Goblin Laborers are not strong enough to stay anywhere. They'll just break immediately as soon as anybody looks at them wrong. For Slaanesh, their forces are not looking so good either. It's a full health of Zazil, but everything else is just so injured it does not matter at all. There go the Immortals. Zazil's going to pick them off, try and rally some troops. Battle lines are reformed. 9.5. Looking on 10 minutes into this game, bounce power is still dead even. A Fascination comboed with a Lash of Slaanesh doing a ton of damage to Chaos Dwarf Warriors. Cascading Fire Cloak giving them 69. Nice melee defense to try and keep them in the game. But they will tear out off as soon as Zazil dives down onto them. He's just too much. They can't hang. Meanwhile, Astragoth and his little Goblin Laborer crew kill off a devoted Marauder of Slaanesh. Everything else is so low that Astragoth should be able to kill it just by getting near. Can a Zazil kill Astragoth? That's pretty much all that's left, because these Goblin Laborers are going to run, man. I guess they're getting +8 leadership for being near Astragoth because of Malign Authority, but they take a charge from these Chaos Knights of Slaanesh, and there goes all that pathetic leadership of theirs. They're gone. Bounce powers in Slaanesh's favor as it's just Astragoth versus Zazil. 60 and 50 versus 70 and 55. But 130 armor versus the 5 of Zazil. Though Zazil, majority armor-piercing weapon damage. Pavane of Slaanesh trying to rampage off Astragoth, but is Cascading Fire Cloak giving himself 74 melee defense and a little bit more damage. Slaanesh piles up onto Astragoth. They're probably going to start routing, and I don't know how many routes they have left before they start shattering. One of the Marauder Horsemen just routes. Chaos Knight just routes. And Astragoth is now surrounded by spears. Balance of power is tipping against him for now. Zazil is charged back in. 7 leadership on those Devoted Marauders. And how are we doing? Astragoth fires off his little flamethrower. Took him a while before he did anything. And he's still pressuring Zazil, actually getting decent damage down to him before he does that cool jump stomp of his, doing 200 more damage to those Devoted Marauders and shattering them off the field. So Marauder Horsemen of Slaanesh also shatter, and everybody shatters. They all abandon Zazil at once, so it is just these two on the entire battlefield. Nothing else matters. Astragoth gets rampaged, so he can't cast spells or do anything to support himself anymore, but the damage itself really won't be that bad to him. And Zazil's getting some big hits in with that charge bonus he just got down from the sky. Once the charge bonus wears off, though, he'll be a lot less fierce of a melee combatant. And Astragoth did not bring his thing where he gets increasingly tanky the lower he gets. Fascination, the tier 1 army ability of Slaanesh, also trying to rampage him so he can't do anything or cast any spells. I don't know if he has enough Winds of Magic for some spells, but a Cascading Fire Cloak would be welcome about now as a second Rampage HP pool triggers. Zazil's taking some nasty damage, though. Astragoth still has decent HP. 2,500 to 3,400. And Astragoth walks forward, headbutts Zazil. But Zazil does a cool little swoopity-doop back at him. Jump kick, 400 more damage to Zazil. 2,200 to 3,000 HP. And I don't know, man. I think Astragoth would have cast a spell if he had one by now. Temptator gives melee damage reflection and 20% damage resistance. Ooh, that'll be crucial. But Astragoth's kind of whooping on him right now. Astragoth's gotten a bunch of hits in a row, but now they're both about tied on HP pools. Leadership is falling, though 1,400 for Astragoth, 1,800 for Zazil. Astragoth gets another juicy hit in. They are just neck and neck in the health department, but leadership tips against the Zazil, and the demonic instability crumbling will take him out soon. He's going to start dipping. No, he rallies the last second. They're still neck and neck in the health department, but Astragoth just kicking his ass. At this point, it's just an RNG show as they both take hits again. God damn, they are just neck and neck here. But Zazil takes another hit, and now the demonic instability is starting to take him. And he swings at Astragoth one more time and misses. And with 700 HP, Astragoth outlasts our little Prince of Slaanesh friend. And we'll take the dub. Damn. 3,300 value from Nameless Order. One of his Chaos Knights did great, the other one struggled. Soul Grinder did okay. The Marauder spam did not get a lot of value, but they were annoying. And then the Marauder Horsemen got more than their value back, so they did great. For Umai's, 2,600 on Astragoth, 1,900 on the train, 1,400 for the Bull Centaur Render. Dome Mortals unfortunately struggled a bit, but I'm sure they were there for like Chaos Warriors, and there was just nothing for them to fight. Kadai Fireborn, overall pretty solid value. I won't say like good or great, but it's fine. I'm sure he doesn't regret taking them. Chaos Dwarf Warriors, Goblin Laborers struggled. GG. Rawr.
Subscribe, yes, yes.